I got a cool new backpack. I'm looking pretty sick.
Armory exchange. Stop giving me cutscenes, everything I click on.
So, Darktide is a game. Okay, that's not the big revelation. But it released back in November of last year, and it was one of, if not my most hyped title in recent memory. As someone who adored the Vermintide game, strutting around the depths and farmlands of Warhammer Fantasy with my boys, slicing, dicing, and shooting, I knew that a Warhammer 40k variant was going to be something else. And then it came out. Yet it had a tricky launch. It wasn't the most beloved, and it's had a bit of a bumpy year. But now we've had the biggest game-changing update since its initial launch. And boy, this is where Darktide gets to be the game I think we all wanted. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. It's like they're trying to force you into understanding the lore about Warhammer. It's like,
I already understand plenty, thank you.
Okay, what's the name of a war? Name all the Warhammers?
There are no Warhammer. Well, that's not entirely true.
There's a man with a hood. He's part of the KKK. Oh no, he's not. It's not a white one. 30th of November 2022. Darktide was here, but something was missing. Content, for one. The options to go for when it came to maps and missions were few and far between, yet even in the content we did have, variety was a huge drawback for the game. In other words, it just didn't really have much of any. On top of this, it was so microtransaction heavy and pretty progression light, and this just made Darktide feel unfinished. A lot of these mixed or average reviews came around January of 2023. This is where people started to get over that massive first hype bump that November brought around, because people started to realize that whilst, yeah, it was a fun, quick shooter that you could jump in and out of, and you could do the horde shooting like Vermintide, it was very lacking in many areas. One of them mostly being from Fat Shark's perspective, the developers themselves, not really having great communication surrounding any more updates or improvements. They seemed to go into panic mode. The loot and crafting systems drew a lot of criticism, making it incredibly hard to level up, and the game being throttled to try and draw out the small bits of content so they'd last for hours and hours, but it just didn't make for a great content-filled game, and something that people wanted to keep coming back to.
Rejects will rise. That's when they're not crashing, or lagging, or loading.
Rock Paper Shotgun described it as a fantastic FPS ruined by a rubbish MMO, which is rough, but I think somewhat fair for the time. Hello, sir. How are you? Kiwi.
What is wrong with you?
Yet throughout the last year or so, we've got countless updates and, more importantly, fixes. The game had a plethora of new bosses being added in, some of my favourite being the big Nurgle ogres. Depending on what class you could pick, whether you're a heavy tanker, whether you're a psyker, a ranger, so on and so forth, these started to somewhat be moved away from. And this brings us on to the biggest update yet. This November, we had a complete class overhaul. As I mentioned, previously you'd pick a class, Psyker, Veteran, Ogre, that kind of thing. You'd then play accordingly to said class. Whether you were charging in close combat, you had a big shotgun, you stayed at range, or you popped heads from afar. But now, in the November update, it wasn't this set class system. It would be more story flowing. You'd be able to build up the lore of each of your characters. Sure, I maybe picked the Veteran Sharpshooter class, but now they've added a full upgrade system tree. This means that as you play through the game, you get points that you can put into different abilities, whether it's making you faster, stronger, more accurate, even getting different weapons. One of my favorite things were being knives. Instead of grenades, I have these elite throwing knives that can one-shot most enemies. Okay, except from armored guys.
No, it's only with my gun sensitivities are.
They're coming! So I unlocked some cool knives to throw. They're like one-hit kill throwing knives, but they don't one-hit kill heavy things.
Jacob, back up.
It's okay, kiddies. Oh. Knife, 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 knife. Oh. Knives, knives, knives. And because of this new skill tech tree, it meant that it didn't matter if you picked one class, you could actually change and morph it to your playstyle, build up this background and lore of your certain character. And I think this was the point where people really started to change around their opinions on the game.
I've been netted. Oh, behind you.
Are you okay down there, sir?
I was trying not to blow you up with the...
No,
right,
you
why is
can
our
do
teammate
that.
just running through the fire like a moron? Is he a bot?
Hello, sniper. Have a knife. Oh my god. What a sick knife throw. Oh my god.
What's that noise?
I'm on very low health. I would like a Healy thing.
Oh dear.
That's not a Healy thing.
Oh, why me?
Knife him. Throw knives. Oh my god. I would like to help, but there's
Oh no.
all the throwing knives. Throw all the throwing knives into this man. Okay, that was not a throwing knife, man.
Oh, get out of my way, teammate. Fucking hell.
I'm gonna steal the kill. Oh, almost.
No, you're not.
We can see in just the Steam charts itself in October and November a massive launch in players, from around 4,000 concurrent to a steady 30,000 for a time. Of course, we've never reached the peak release form, yet it is getting there. And the player base is starting to come across more positively. Reviews on Steam have gone from mixed to very positive. People are loving this new progression system. Why? Well, it actually gives you a reason to play. It actually makes you come back and you can change and morph your characters the way you want them to. It doesn't matter if you've played the same map over and over again because you'll still be grinding XP. And this time it's not just small little loots and cosmetics that you can put into it. Now it's real game mechanics that you can get different weapons and different abilities for your character. This is what they needed from the start. And it is just a shame that it's taken so long for them to get to this point because Darktide is getting stronger and stronger every day. There's a bomby boy. Woo! That was you. Why are you screaming, James? Are you?
No, they were in the game when we last played, and we have tried to fight them and immediately fucking died.
I pulled a lever and I don't know what I did.
Well, you awoke something.
I'm woke something.
Yeah, you...
Oh, it's a horde. We're alive. We're definitely not going to be dead soon. I'm definitely not going to be dead soon.
I can't aim.
I'm definitely not going to be dead soon. I'm manifesting the anti-death. I hear something big.
Oh, no.
Why are you going for me?
What?
He went for you.
This place is ready to come down.
Oh, hello, big boy. You look sexy. You're blown up. Let's talk a little bit about some of the missions, though. They've added in a number since I've last played them, yet still the maps look fairly similar. There are a few differences, like the one I played the other day. It seemed a little bit more open and a bit more techy, but other than that, it's a lot of the same. And this goes on to the little submissions and sub-quests you do within them, like the hologram puzzles. Don't get me wrong, they are still in the game and just as frustrating as ever, but they have tried to improve them a little bit. I mean, in this mission that I did, we had to locate some vials with a scanner and then destroy the production facility. It felt quite Star Wars Battlefront 2 actually, and I'm definitely not complaining about that. Knives. You think you can climb up here, son? Go on, try it. Yeah. There's more than one though. There's another one here.
Oh, now the other one came out?
Yeah, he was being tactical.
I'm fucking
There's
kiting
three!
him, mate.
There's three!
I'm fucking kiting him. I was kiting him because he couldn't
There's
pathfind over.
four!
No, the flamer! The flamer and I've
There's
been
five!
fucking... Oh, bother!
And dog! What's going
And I
on?
have no ammo left.
Dog's coming back.
Cease your whimpers, hound.
Jesus Christ, man. Overall, I am so glad there is more meat and potatoes within Darktide. Yet it seems that I'm not the only one that's happy about this. As mentioned, the players have started to come back. It's now settling at around 16, 17,000 concurrent players, which is insane. They genuinely have managed to revive a game with just one update. Okay, it has been years of updates, but this was the one that brought players back en masse. And it seems like this is also the one that will keep them. People actually have something to stick around for. Not the repetitive maps or the bare bones side missions, but this character progression. This is now the selling point of Darktide. The aesthetic, and now mechanical choices for your soldier with a whole lot more customization, creating longer and longevity for this title. And this is what I want to see in the future of Darktide. Because whilst it has been a tricky launch and maybe been disappointing for some, I think now, especially 1 year later, it is finally in the place that it should have been upon release. And I would say there's nothing more fun than heading into the hives of Tertium to get your fix of Darktide.
Have a bit of fire. Don't shoot me.
Yeah, I was actually wondering. Wow, that's cool. Heavy attacks. All the heavy attacks. All the heavy attacks. Dicey, 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 wicey. We did it! Woo! 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 Wasn't that so good?
It was fun if I wasn't lagging.
Wasn't that so great?